OMG, something's happening. My life feels like it's falling apart. I think things are changing. No! If you can relate, join me, The Feather, and we can talk fear and transformation. Hello, welcome to Wine and Wisdom with The Feather. That's me, Stacy. If there was only one thing I was an expert at in this life, it would be the dreaded transformation and the fears that can be triggered by it. Here's my humble definition of transformation. Life as you know it, or a part of your life, burns to the ground and you are forced into a situation where you have to rebuild your identity, or a part of it, anew. Someone once said, the only constant in life is change. Truth. So why are we all so afraid of it? There are many, many reasons for this. Today I'm going to focus on two biggies. We've all been taught, shown, programmed slowly over time to believe that if everything stays the same, we will be safe. Chaos often brings danger, or at the very least threatens your peace of mind, or your piece of bread. At the core of many of our lives, it's about survival. If I can't predict my future, then I'm vulnerable to the big bad world. I could die. It's a pretty big fear. The second biggie in my books is that change tends to bring about discomfort. It's having to face the unknown. When change is by choice, it can be overwhelming, but one typically has a plan, a roadmap to follow, and a feeling of control. I got this. Maybe even a sense of adventure at the possibility of newness. The real fear pops up when change is unexpected or sudden. Dun dun dun. You are caught off guard, have to think on your feet, and reaction versus response is the last thing on your mind. You will likely lose things you've been attached to. And most often there is some level of pain. And the pain involved makes you scream, why, universe, why? Enter the dreaded word growth, stage right. Sound familiar? But here's the thing. The only constant in life is change. We humans are ever changing, ever evolving. Believe it or not, it's our true nature. So let's talk about the phoenix for a minute, a mythical bird said to be descendant of the peacock. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you'll remember Fawkes, Dumbledore's phoenix. The phoenix is a perfect analogy for looking at transformation. The baby bird is born, is dependent on others to learn how to live. Mama feeds it and eventually boots it out of the nest to fly. Once flying, Phoenix grows up to make friends in his neighborhood and have many opportunities that teach him about life and eventually feel accomplished. As Phoenix grows older, many of those new experiences are now old hat, and he's bored. Sure, he can teach others what he's learned, but he's become stuck in an old cycle and is no longer excited by life. He needs to learn new things. He needs to challenge himself to explore other neighborhoods, have new adventures, grow into a newer version of himself. But he's scared. He doesn't know what that looks like. Here in this place, he knows everyone, knows where the best worms are, where the best lounging spots are. He's become complacent. Or maybe he's very content, but his purpose is bigger than this neighborhood. Along comes a catalyst. One day, Phoenix is chilling on his branch, and he spontaneously bursts into flames. Whoosh! Sometimes it's almost violent. You can feel the intense heat. Phoenix burns right down to ash. Painful? Tragic? Unwanted or unexpected? All of the above. His friends all say, why? Why did this happen? Then a wondrous thing happens if Phoenix doesn't get in his own way. From out of the pile of ashes rises a new baby bird, wings wet, transformed and ready to begin a new chapter. With this new form, forged from the intense flames, the catalyst for his change, he is cleared of old baggage and useless limiting fears. He has a new sense of purpose and vision, and is excited to create a new chapter full of promise and wonder. Sounds pretty amazing when you look at it that way, right? So how did I get this smart? Not because I'm perfect, that's for sure. It's because I am Phoenix. Folks, I've had to reinvent myself 100 different times and in 1,000 different ways in my short life. I have the tattoos to prove it. Early on, I fought it tooth and nail, kicking and screaming the whole way. Let me swig some wine and share a bit of my story. Some of you may already know that in my earlier days, I was a professional opera singer, singing for my supper across the globe. I don't do anything small, and my opera career was no different. I gave it my all, to the point where I self-sabotaged with fear and self-doubt, burned myself out through lack of self-care and a really horrible relationship that kept me distracted from my dreams, and ended up attempting suicide at 26. Yeah, suicide. At the time, I didn't realize that the universe had other plans, bigger, better plans for me. So when my life burned to ashes, despite my best efforts to hang on to this identity for dear life, it was literally killing me. I was faced with one of my biggest fears. If I'm not Stacy the opera singer, then who the hell am I? What does that mean for my life? How am I going to survive? Who am I becoming? I had clung to that label for years and had sacrificed so much to make it work. I had no idea how to move forward. Shame and fear, off the charts. The universe gave me one choice. Surrender! We've got you. Not an easy feat for a control freak. During my recovery, though, I tried on many different hats and coats in the coming years, from performance styles to jobs. I gave up opera and moved into Broadway and jazz. I sang with local bands. I even gave up singing and explored straight-up acting with much enthusiasm. I've been a cash shop clerk, a body wrap technician, a singing server in restaurants, manager of janitorial for Chrysler, supervisor of custodial services for a university, voice teacher, creator and owner of Great Foods Goddess Meal Service before it was a thing, and a partridge in a pear tree. I could go on, but who has the time, right? My point. I had no idea where I was going to land through this process. And damn, was it grueling at times. Self-awareness deep dives into my soul were unpleasant to say the least. But it was during this time in my life, when I was at my lowest, that I began to open up to my intuition. I began to trust my inner voice and explore different skills I didn't even know I had. I doubted them. I dismissed them for years. And fast forward to today, here I am, drinking wine and waxing poetic with you here, because my Phoenix transformations actually have meaning when I can share them to help others not feel so alone or afraid of theirs. If I hadn't let this aspect of me go, change, or shift, I would have delayed or possibly never even stepped into the person I am today. And that person is a whole version of me, not pieces that others projected onto me or that I tried to fit into for myself. I regret nothing. I know now that everything that happened to me over the years was really just rerouting me to my ultimate purpose, being the most authentic me I can be. Words of wisdom time. So let me share with you my magic tools that helped me get here to the place where transformation is desired and embraced instead of feared. 1. Meditation. Finding a way to quiet the monkey mind. Oh my God, I'm such an overanalyzer, and that is a slow death for anyone making changes in their lives for the better. It took me years to find a meditation style that works for me. And I can tell you, it isn't sitting Buddha style cross-legged for hours chanting Om. That never worked for me. Guided meditation was a great beginning tool for me, and it gave my thoughts a story to focus on. Now I do a combination of verbal and nonverbal meditations, active meditations involving coloring, and good old-fashioned Mother Nature time to ground, quiet, and calm me. Don't be afraid to explore what works for you. 2, finding, creating a solid support system of non-judgmental people who understand you. I cannot overestimate this. This is critical. If your family or current friend group cannot step outside their own judgments to allow you your own path, seek others who are going through or have gone through a transformation themselves. Research thought leaders, motivational speakers, and authors who talk honestly about their paths. Find a local gathering of like-minded seekers who are open to trying things. And connect with your source. I'm an angels girl, so I'm always tuning into angelic energy and asking for an assist when I really don't know what to do next. Gain support and confidence through making choices that feel good for you. Learn to trust your inner GPS, your intuition. It will never steer you wrong. 3, one day at a time. Don't put too much pressure on yourself and bite off more than you can chew. I like to say that Rome wasn't built in a day. And reinventing yourself isn't an overnight job. Be patient and kind with yourself. The process can be rough and choppy at times. You won't always feel like you're on solid ground at first. Surrender to the unknown and step into trusting that the universe, source, has your front, back, sides, bottom, and top. Do your best to stay present in the moment. Now is all we have. Now will always show you the next step. Ask, then wait and listen for the answer. It will come, I promise. 4, getting excited about your future. Let's talk visioning. Don't get focused on the past. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. It's a waste of your time and energy. Instead, take time out for yourself on the regular to vision and create the life you want. What you want to feel, see, hear, taste, touch, and smell in your ideal outcome. Go big or go home. Then release the vision as though it has already come to pass. Revisit the feeling of success daily without rewriting the original vision, unless you want to revise it. And believe in your worthiness to receive it. 5, here's my favorite Post-it note tip. Every day for 2 years, I had a Post-it of this question on my bathroom mirror to keep my eye on the prize, even if I didn't know how I was going to get there exactly. Is this choice in alignment with my truth, health, happiness, wisdom, and love? If you cannot answer yes to each of these options, then make a different choice. 6, just do it. What really have you got to lose? The universe has your front, back, sides, bottom, and top. We already know this. Many times we focus on the past, situations or what ifs that 9 out of 10 times never actually happen. We expend our energy on the fears instead of the possibilities. Move out of frozen or stuck and move forward into trust. You are truly the best investment you will ever make. You'll never know until you move ahead, so take the leap. Final thoughts. Transformation does not have to derail you. Choose to embrace the change that is inevitable. By making the choice to embrace rather than bury your head in the sand or hope like hell it's not going to happen, you empower yourself to enjoy the adventure of who you are becoming. You also take responsibility for that path. You can be a co-creator, making sure that you get everything you desire. All it takes is trust in the process and an invite for Source to guide the way. Trust me, if I can do it, anyone can. Loved sharing this info with you. Hope you found it helpful. Today I was enjoying a glass of Impress Petit Verdot at my humble abode in Morrisville, North Carolina. As always, I appreciate you liking, subscribing, and sharing my videos. If you want to know more about me, check out the links below to my website, theblackfeatherintuitive.com. Keep your eyes peeled for my next Wine and Wisdom with the Feather. Thanks for watching. Take care.